Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, my name's Benson. What's yours? Welcome back to another update video with the lovely wife, Christin. We're going to talk about her bariatric surgery. She's about a month and a half out now, a little bit more than that. Yeah. Remember the 12th, you're 2 months, so you're 8 days shy of 2 months.
Yes.
Now let's talk about weight factor. So what was your starting weight?
Like pre-liquid diet?
Yeah.
Starting weight? 381.
So 381. And do you know what you weighed the day of surgery?
I want to say it was like 367 is what they told me.
Okay. And what are you at right now?
323.
323. From highest weight of 384, she's down 58. She's down 58 pounds, and then from her surgery date, she's down 44 pounds.
Right.
So that's a pretty good jump there in a month and a half.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah. And you can see it. Like, you can see it.
I don't see it, but yeah.
That's always my hardest thing, is I don't see people like, oh, you look great. You're really losing weight. And I'm like, I guess, you know, especially like the last few months, because like,
well, I mean, you're wearing a 3X sweatshirt. So.
Well, and that's what I have to focus on, is the fact that I'm wearing sizes like 3 times smaller.
Sizes yet.
You have, because some of your shirts have gotten baggier, and your pants were baggier because you were
like... Yeah, but those are... They're stretchy, so I can't really count those pants. Like, I can a little, because they are, like, pretty loose, but I wouldn't necessarily...
You count
them because they were already a little bit loose when I bought them because they were comfortable.
Right.
So...
You count them. It's the small things, because the small things, like looking at stuff like that, is what really gets you to that next step. It's what helps you mentally get through that anguish of the scale not moving.
Right.
So, even for me now, like, the scale is barely moving. Like, it's a few pounds every couple days, if that.
But that's still good. I went a whole week without my weight changing at all.
Well, no, so that's what I'm saying. But then it fluctuates back up. So, like,
yeah.
I keep bouncing back in between the same, like, 10-pound range before I'll actually finally break that weight range and go down. So, but I look at the fact that, like, even now these jeans, which were kind of tight 2 months ago, are loose.
Right.
You know, my belts almost...
You can buy shirts from the Disney store.
Yeah.
Like the actual on-site Disney.
Yeah.
Store.
And then, like, I can tighten my belt as much as I want, but even these pants are kind of starting to bunch up in certain areas. So, you got to look at those small little...
But other than those pants, there's really not a change. I don't feel like there's a change in anything that I'm wearing.
Yeah.
So.
Alright, so what food stage are you officially on?
Regular food.
So you're on regular food. You were on soft foods, and they told you to kind of slowly start adding normal stuff back in. So, so let's do items that you know for sure right now you can't handle as you've reintroduced them, and your stomach was just like, heck no, get it out.
Eggs.
Boiled eggs.
Yeah, boiled eggs.
So scrambled or fried.
Which they said is really odd, because usually it's the reverse. When I brought that up to the nutritionist, he was like, normally it's the reverse. Normally people can't handle scrambled eggs. They can eat boiled eggs fine.
Which is funny too, because I can't handle boiled eggs. Like, they're too tough for me.
Yeah, and I can't. And I mean, even just, and I'm not talking about the one time that I did this egg salad, but at work, I had a boiled egg and it was not good.
It doesn't sit well with my... So that's funny. But scrambled eggs, I love scrambled eggs. In fact, I make cheese omelets all the time.
Yeah.
I'll eat those for breakfast.
And those are fine.
Yeah. And I've even had a fried egg, like, not like in grease or anything, like in butter and stuff. And I haven't had an issue with that. So, I guess it's kind of funny that scrambled eggs...
I have a problem with pork now.
Right.
And I don't know if it's maybe just fatty pork or just pork in general, because I don't tend to sit well at all anymore with pork. But
and that happens to a lot of people.
Yeah, that, and then I think mostly those are the two right now that I know for sure.
We tried a low-carb cracker snack, which is made out of straight Parmesan cheese, and that didn't sit well. But
that made me sick.
Yeah, I think...
Like, really sick. Almost immediately.
I think that could be because some cheeses are a little bit fattier, and Parmesan's one of them, so I think that might have been what hit you the worst.
Well, and I think it was really strong flavor.
Well, because it's not a flavored item.
Because there are flavors now that I don't like that I didn't ever have a problem with before, too.
Yeah, well, and that's just straight Parmesan cheese that's been baked till it's crispy, so.
Well, I like stuff that I used to eat all the time I don't like now.
Right.
Like Greek yogurt.
Yeah. Not a fan. Which is funny because I didn't like it beforehand, but I like it now. Like, so what we're saying is,
Be careful.
be very careful. Introduce it in small amounts,
slowly,
and only eat that to verify like what it is it's gonna make.
Yeah, because if you eat something that's all mixed up, you're never gonna know what in it is the problem, and then you're gonna be like, I can't eat any of this, and it's gonna be not the case. So
exactly. So, as if you were a newborn child,
yes.
Very slowly. Let's talk mental health. So how has that been? Because, for the first few weeks, there were spots where you had...
swings.
Yeah. Well, not even mood swings, but, like, you had some
swings.
anxiety issues and stuff.
I did. But, I haven't really had any anxiety since then.
You're right.
Like, but, I mean, every now and again, like, I do have, like, a mood swing.
Right.
But, I mean, I don't know if I would call it a mood swing, just, I don't know.
Your hormones kind of go wacky.
Yeah, well, because so for me, like, I had other stuff affecting my hormones before surgery. And so now that surgery happened and everything, and I'm starting to lose weight, some of those hormone imbalances are starting to correct themselves.
Right.
And so I've lived so long a certain way that now that that stuff is changing, I have to learn to adapt my behavior again.
Right.
To it. So every now and again I have like a little, like the other day for instance, like I love what I'm doing at work right now, but the other day I did not want to go. Like I really just did not want to function. So
yeah.
Which, I mean, granted, I'm sure a lot of people feel that way when it comes to work, but for me it was weird because normally I'm fine. I'll get up, go to work, do my job, and come home and I'm okay. But the other day I just didn't want any part of it. Like, none.
Right. So aside from anxiety, there's the, like you said earlier, you don't see yourself losing the weight, and that's a mental game. Like, that is a mental health thing you have to be careful with, because that can seriously hurt you and really bring you down, and cause you to backslide. So that's why I always say look for those small little positive things, like the sizes of your clothes. Like, yeah, you're like, oh, well, they're stretchy, it's no big deal. At the same sense, like, that's still a big deal. You're still, you're still losing it. So
I guess it just doesn't feel like it.
Yeah.
Like, I still feel big.
And and the thing is, so like for me, like I'm the same way.
I'm still big.
Right, and we're still big people. But it's because there's so much that needs to be lost until you really hit that 200 mark or anything. I don't really think you're ever going to feel like you see it. Now,
well, I think until I can get down to like a normal size clothes, is when I'll start to really feel like I'm seeing the difference. Because right now, none of that stuff has changed, so it's...
Yeah. So for me now, seeing old pictures really kind of upsets me.
Upsets you? Why?
Well, because you look at it and you're like, how did I get there? And if you look at some of my really old pictures, like, and look at me now, like, the difference is so incredibly...
vast?
Yeah, it's... In fact, my boss has a rotating slide of work pictures from, like, different events we've done, and, like, I pop up on them, and I'm like, I really wish you'd take those out. I really hate them. And he's like, but they're still good pictures, and he goes, I understand why you hate them. He's like, but it's just kind of proof that you've made that journey. Yeah, I know, I get that, but that's...
I guess the way I feel about that kind of stuff, though, is, like, that's still you.
Yeah.
Like, regardless of what led to whatever you are now, that... like, I don't know how to describe it. Like, I met you 13 years ago, well, 14 years ago now, but, at that weight, which you were bigger then, but, all I see is just that's, well, I don't know how to describe it, like, to make it to where it makes sense. Like,
no, I get what you're saying. So the problem with me, though, is it causes a lot of self-hate. Which is nothing that anybody can really do. That's something that I have to deal with. So but in the same sense, it kind of motivates me sometimes.
Yeah.
So Yes, I mean, there's that. There's, and then I think if we were to find like a side-by-side
in my pictures, so
yeah. Well, I think if we were to do some side-by-sides, it wouldn't be, you would see some things. You would see some differences. And they would be small differences too. The thing too they have to really look at is like, because of your body type and your body size, like even for me, like you're losing that weight and you're not seeing it because you're losing it in weird places. And I think that's another thing that a lot of people don't see is when you start losing it in like your butt or your arms and your shoulders, like you don't really see that because you're not really paying attention when you're looking at yourself in the mirror. You're focusing on the places, like for me right now, my biggest issue is like my stomach and my thighs are still big, but I've lost weight way up here. I've lost weight here, in my arms and stuff. And so like that's because I can't see it here is why I have such a big issue with it. So I think for me, like when I finally lose the stomach area and stuff, then I'll be a little less self-conscious about it maybe. But that's just things that I, and it's things that I'm sure eventually you'll go through and stuff like that. But you have to find the other places, the other aspects where the weight change is really affecting you. So one of the things that somebody questioned us about, or had a question, they're going to Disney, I think a week after their surgery or a couple weeks after their surgery. So we did that. We did it a week after your surgery. We went to Mickey's Very Not So Scary Halloween party, and we did Disney. So, but we just got back from a trip last weekend. And that would have been about a month and a half out for you. Give me some differences between the two trips for you, specifically in regards to your surgery, and not only that, but how your energy levels were changed, the ability to walk and keep up, which we're just going to say side note, keep up. You're a very slow walker in comparison to me and the kids.
Yeah, I have to yell at you all the time.
But
and tell you you're running.
It's because you have short hobbit legs, and the kids and I have long legs, and so one of your strides, one of our strides takes you like 3 strides.
No, it doesn't. The main thing is knowing what you're going for. So like we went during a party, and of course there was food, and I wanted to be able to eat things, and I couldn't do that.
Right.
But like the differences, I mean, obviously the biggest difference now is that I am able to eat. I'm not able to eat, but I'm able to eat other stuff. Staying hydrated was a really big issue for me because it was so early, week 1. Right. And I was still trying to get used to being able to drink enough water and protein and stuff like that. So that was a big deal week 1 while we were there. And then the difference now, or recently, was that now that I've learned how to do it, and now I'm a little bit further out and I can eat other things, it's a little bit easier to do that stuff. As far as like keeping up and everything, like the energy is there.
So let's not focus on the keeping up, because that is a leg stride to leg stride.
Well, the week out was hard because I had to take a lot of breaks. Right. Because I was tired.
Still recovering.
And yeah, exactly. My body was still recovering.
And you're on the liquid diet.
Yeah, and I was exhausted. I was exhausted.
That's one of the things that nobody's ever going to tell you on the liquid diet. If you have to do a liquid diet before surgery and after surgery for 2 weeks, you are going to be exhausted, and the reason being is, yes, you're still getting your protein, but there are other things that food gives you: vitamin D, vitamin B, A, C, all the other vitamins and minerals that your body's not going to get on a liquid diet. Right. So if you're on that liquid diet, absolutely make sure you're sticking to your B12s and your vitamin Ds and your iron and your multivitamins and your calcium, because those kind of play on that fact.
And they make drink forms of these, by the way.
Yeah, they make liquid vitamins. It's something we're looking into because she's having an issue with regular vitamins.
Drink form.
But that's one of the things that nobody ever really told me was how exhausted I was going to be on the liquid diet.
Well, for one thing, you can't get comfortable anymore. Like, you're trying to get comfortable in your bed, and after sleeping in a hospital bed, even just for the one night, because you're in it, and you're in it for so long, you're sitting in it, you're doing everything in it, unless you're getting up and moving around, which you do, but you can't get comfortable. Like, my butt hurt for days after I got out of the hospital. Like, it was very painful for me.
So one of the things I've read is that most people, their tailbone always hurts. And, like, I'm that way.
Well, I don't have that usually,
No, I'm pretty sure my coccyx is broken or shattered or bent in the wrong way. Like, it doesn't hurt me all the time, but if I sit certain ways, it does.
See, and I don't really have that. If I'm sitting for a long time, like if I'm sitting in the bed on the weekend, I have it because I'll sit and I'll like crochet or whatever, and then depending on how long I sit there for, then I start having the pain. But like at work in my work chair, I don't have that problem. But
I have to make sure I'm not like leaned back. I'm sitting like on my thighs and my butt, and not like I'm not slouched. I'm very conscious of that.
I mean, week one, definitely you don't have any energy because you're tired. And a month and a half out, I had the energy to keep up. Like, I could keep walking and everything. It's just I'm slow. But, like, those are the big differences. The big differences are the eating and the energy to want to keep going. I mean, granted, I'm still, even after surgery and having the energy, I'm still not a go person. Just because I've never been that way. But I am able to keep up now, like, as far as energy goes. But, you know, those are the main differences. The main differences were just trying to be able to drink and keep my protein and stay hydrated and all that stuff in the very beginning is really hard. So going, I think, a week out was, for me, for my personal feeling, it was probably a mistake just because of that whole part of everything. Now, if you're a little bit better at keeping up with stuff and being on your scheduled time to drink water and you're on it, it's probably not going to be that hard for you. For me, it was hard because it was all new, and I have my own problems, of course, also, and so I was having a really hard time with it. Plus, I got sick. You didn't ever get sick with yours, as far as that sick goes. And so, for me, it was, you know, it was hard.
I would say that. So in this sense, like, when you get sick, everything comes back up. But, like, I think
comes back up.
Like, after, and even, honestly, before surgery, like, I've never been the kind of person that, like, vomits. I've never, like, if I get sick, it just sits there, my stomach stays upset, but nothing ever really happens. And it's been the same way after surgery. Like, I'll get sick on some things that I've tried, and it's just, I have to deal with, like, my stomach hurting for however long, whereas like your body, like, it just rejects it. It's like, no, get it out. So that's definitely a big difference between your surgery and mine.
Because even my friend, she's never been sick, like physically sick.
But I think that has to go back to like before surgery. So I've always had what I would say was an iron stomach. It goes in stomach. In the sense that I didn't vomit a lot. So
nope, my body has no problems rejecting things.
So if you're gonna go a week to 2 weeks out, just keep in mind that you've got to stay on top of your protein, you've got to stay on top of your water, because
stay hydrated.
You've got to stay hydrated.
Take breaks too. Don't be afraid to be like, you guys go do what you're doing, I'm gonna sit down. Because you need it.
Find an air conditioned place to chill out and do what you can to keep your energy level up, because that
B12.
Coming off that liquid diet or coming off that liquid diet or being on that liquid diet for any amount of time, like, you just get physically exhausted. Like, it wears you out.
There are still days I get physically exhausted.
Yeah, well, and that's just normal. In fact, even after mine, when I tried to do the liquid diet with you, I wore out quick. Like, it was just, I was exhausted.
Yeah, I had to make you eat regular food.
Yeah, like, that was the first time in a year where I'd actually been like, I have no energy whatsoever, so.
It's rough.
Yeah, that liquid diet.
And if you're going to attempt to eat anything sweet, do it very carefully.
Well, no, we don't want to say that. We want to say if you're going to, like, do sugar alternatives, Splenda and things like that.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. If you're going to try anything sweet, regardless of whether it's sugar-free or not, because not everybody's going to do sugar-free.
Right.
Let's just call it what it is. That's what a lot of people don't. But if you're going to do that, do it carefully.
Yeah.
Because when your body rejects it, you don't know how your body's going to reject it.
Yeah, and dumping's very scary, especially when how your body is. So that's it. That's
pretty much.
That's your almost 2-month update.
I mean, there's not been a whole lot of changes, really, aside from just being able to eat regular food. Like I said, I haven't really had any changes as far as clothing or anything like that goes.
We have seen other changes, but they're more personal changes.
Yeah.
So, and they're more couple-related changes.
Yeah.
So, that's the most PG-friendly
I can
give it to you.
I'm just kidding. It's
but
different.
It's very different, and you just kind of have to take it one day at a time.
It's just the biggest thing to remember is it's a lifestyle change, not
100%. And it's
something
just
easy.
If you're not mentally prepared for it, or you don't have the support system, it's just as easy to wind up back at that weight even after the surgery as it is to stay that weight before the surgery. So just keep that in mind. But if you guys have any other questions for us, please feel free to ask away. If you look in the comments of the videos and stuff, I do my very best to reply to every comment that we get. I'm pretty sure I haven't missed one yet. And I answer as truthfully as possible. If you prefer it stay private, not on a video, the email address for the channel is andstufflikethatvideos@gmail.com. You're more than welcome to email us there. You can find us on Twitter at Benson Calore and send us a direct message, and we'll answer them as absolutely honestly and best as we can, because we want to see you guys succeed. Like, we're supporting each other in this, and we know that there are plenty of people out there that don't have that support system, and if we can be that support system for you, we absolutely will. We will do our very best to support you in any way we can, whether it be food ideas, recipes, tips and tricks if you're going to the parks. Tips and tricks if we're going to the parks and things like that. We want to see other people succeed because we want to succeed, and sometimes it's a group effort to succeed. It
takes a village.
Yeah, especially in this instance, because this isn't such... The biggest things you hear is how easy this is, how this is the easy way out, and it's absolutely not, because it's such a lifestyle change that you really need that support of everybody who's going through it, who really kind of understands what you're having to deal with on a day-to-day basis. So if you need support, feel free to reach out to us. We absolutely do not mind being that support as best we can.
Somebody who says that this is the easy way out clearly doesn't understand what it took to get there.
Yeah. Or it doesn't understand the change that has to happen after surgery. This is just, it's one tool to really get you there, and it's very easy to backslide as if you weren't without the surgery, So, again, we're there for you guys. We absolutely love everybody that interacts with us. We absolutely love doing this and being able to share our journey with you, and if we can help you on your journey any way possible, we will absolutely do our best. So, we love you guys. We hope you enjoyed this one. Till tomorrow.